chairs haven't arrived. Apparently people are having some difficulty finding the place. I gotta admit that 1,000 isn't very visible from the road.
Can you make it a little louder for some people?
Okay. I'll make it loud. I'll get a little closer.
A little
closer. Okay. First of all, I'm going to read MoveOn.org's introduction for this rally, which basically covers the purpose. My name is Christopher Curry from Pasco, Rhode Island, and I'm the council coordinator for MoveOn.org. This rally, or different versions of this rally, are being held at over 200 different locations this evening. And it's actually being co-sponsored to some extent by as many as 30 different organizations as far as advertising. We had at least 40 people who said they would be coming, but we haven't shown up yet. Maybe we will. But I want to thank you all for coming. We're here today to urge Senators Reid and Whitehouse to defend the American dream from the massive attacks on workers' rights by Republicans, both in state and in Washington, D.C. areas. Last week, Wisconsin Republicans rammed through their attack on workers' rights in a shocking power grab, and Congress is poised to strike a horrible deal on the federal budget, cutting health care, environmental protections, and housing assistance, and destroying jobs. The recently proposed Republican budget would mean firing about 65,000 teachers, killing about 700,000 jobs, and sending 10,000 veterans into homelessness. And that's just the beginning. Republicans don't want folks to know it, but their budget will cut critical funding for dozens of programs that hundreds of millions of Americans rely on. I don't know why the wind comes up just when I start to speak. In Rhode Island, the Republicans' budget would cost us approximately 2,400 jobs. Let me say that again. In the midst of a crippling recession that many people are still struggling through, Republicans are proposing a spending cut, or a bunch of spending cuts, that will cause a loss of 2,400 Rhode Island jobs. These include cutting federal revenue sharing to help employees of schools, preschool, Head Start employees, veteran support employees, agencies like Planned Parenthood, which provides care for women, and firefighters, teachers, a lot of people, really. There is an alternative vision for America. Instead of punishing working Americans who are already struggling, we need to defend the American dream by investing in America and making corporations and millionaires pay their fair share of taxes.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah. At a time when millions of Americans are struggling to make ends meet, it makes no sense to make cuts that would cost hundreds of thousands of jobs, remove teachers from already overcrowded classrooms, and much more. What do we want? We demand an end to the attacks on workers' rights and public services across the country. We demand investment in creating decent jobs for millions of people who desperately want to work. We demand that the super rich and powerful corporations, including Wall Street banks and big oil companies, pay their fair share of our taxes. In the states and in Washington, D.C., Republicans are using the wrecked economy as an excuse to slash vital programs and hurt workers, while continuing to give tax bailouts to big corporations and millionaires. In Congress, Republicans are proposing massive cuts to education funding. They're taking police off the street, food out of the mouths of hungry children and moms, and destroying jobs instead of creating them, and saying, so be it. Even Goldman Sachs put out a report that admits that the Republican budget would cut economic growth in half over the coming year. We cannot allow this attack on the American dream to continue. That's why we're here today, to stand up, fight back, and defend the American dream against the right-wing assault. I'm sick of those attacks on working people, and that's why we have this promise sheet that we're passing around where if you'll just sign it, I'll make copies to give them to Senators Reid and Whitehouse. And I would like to lead a little bit of a cheer, maybe heard from his staff. Of course, Senator Reid is in Washington fighting for our causes right now, but his staff might be able to hear us if we shout loud enough. Let's say, thank you, Senator Reid.
Thank you, Senator Reid.
Thank you, Senator Reid.
Thank you, Senator Reid. One more.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Reid.
Thank you, Senator Reid.
Okay.
Sort of chant too.
Yeah.
When I say people, you say power. People.
Power.
People.
Power.
When I say fair, you say share. Fair.
Share.
Fair.
Share.
When I say people, you say power. People.
Power.
People.
Power.
When I say fair, you say share. Fair.
Share.
Fair.
Share.